Hello and a very good morning to all our viewers out there. You're watching the Morning News Show on CNN News 18 and I am Sriya Kundu, here to take you through all the top stories of the day from across the nation and around the world over the next 30 minutes. And well, as we speak of around the world, our first piece of information is coming in from the international sphere. This is regarding former United States President Donald Trump, who has been indicted for the third time this year. This time in connection with the 2020 election interference probe helmed by Special Counsel Jack Smith. Now, Trump has been charged on 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Now, Trump is now scheduled to appear at the Washington, D.C. Federal Courthouse on Thursday at 4 p.m., which means close to 1:30 a.m. India time. Now remember, Trump has already been indicted by the Manhattan Grand Jury in March for business fraud and was indicted in connection with the classified documents probe in June. He also faces charges in connection with a hush money case in connection with adult entertainer Stormy Daniels. This spells even more trouble for the Republican frontrunner ahead of the 2024 presidential elections. The White House has so far refused to comment.
More problems for Donald Trump. A grand jury indicting the former president on 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and to obstruct an official proceeding in the special counsel investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election leading up to the January 6 Capitol riot.
We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and we're going to the Capitol. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country.
The former president lashing out on Truth Social, claiming special counsel Jack Smith is interfering with the 2024 presidential election.
This is harassment. This is election interference.
The attack on our nation's capital on January 6th, 2021 was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies.
For months, special prosecutors brought witnesses in front of a grand jury, several of whom appeared under subpoena, ranging from low-level aides to former Vice President Mike Pence as they built their case.
In this case, my office will seek a speedy trial so that our evidence can be tested in court and judged by a jury of citizens. In the meantime, I must emphasize that the indictment is only an allegation and that the defendant must be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law.
This is what we are gathering. This is the third time former President Donald Trump is being indicted. And this time the charges are quite serious. And we have Abhishek Jha joining us live on the broadcast. Abhishek, a very good morning to you. Well, Donald Trump has been indicted on criminal charges by a federal grand jury in Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election leading up to January 6, 2021 attack on the US Capitol. So now we have 2 questions here. Firstly, how is this going to play out for the former president, since this is the third time such serious charges have been alleged against him, and this third time the charges that have been against him, these are certain serious charges which are against the constitutional rights. And the second one is the fallout from this on his presidential campaign for 2024.
So clearly, Shriya, this is not the way ahead for Donald Trump in politically is not going to be easy. However, this is not the first time that he's been indicted. Earlier on the 30th of April, also he was indicted in hush money cases where he later pleaded non-guilty, and he's still the trials are on. In this case also, he's been now officially accused by the grand jury that these are the charges of felony against him, where he has conspirated, and there are co-conspirators also against the results of presidential election in 2020, where he tried to overturn the results by illegal means. So broadly speaking, that is a political game he was trying to play, and now those games have been put against him as a federal charge in the court of grand jury. From here onwards, he is going to defend himself. The trials will begin, and he can go ahead with pleading non-guilty when the trials will start happening, and evidences will be put, and his defendant or his lawyers will also try to defend his case that these are the charges are not standing on merit. But yeah, the trial, as the longer the trial will be, the bad it will be for Donald Trump's political career, because he has fielded himself for the upcoming presidential election, and he was trying to raise funds for his political campaign, and he's been saying that he is the only person who is going to reveal that the deep state to the people, that they are against the U.S. people. So whatever the political narrative he was trying to build is going to face a lot of hurdles now because of this indictment process that Trump will be in. And with this, he is also facing other charges, or other indictment process is already on. So clearly, a list of legal hassles is in the way of Donald Trump's presidential election now. And somebody will have to see how he handles both his political campaign and his legal cases at the same time.
Right, Abhishek. You know, earlier as well, during an interview of his, he has said that all of these charges that are being alleged against him, whatever he's being accused of, they're all false, and they are all being done as an attempt to interfere with the elections and with the upcoming elections. How are we looking at that? And like I mentioned before as well, the presidential campaigns are ongoing right now. So how is this affecting it? Are the people of the United States actually going ahead with this belief that yes, this man is a person who has been charged with such serious accusation thrice, or are they also of the belief that he is constantly being framed as he has put it across?
The charges against Trump are very serious in nature, and Donald Trump is also the first former president in the history of the United States who has been criminally indicted, and he has been charged twice federally. And the charges are first of hush money with paying his campaign fee as part of Stormy Daniels case, and now trying to overturn the verdict of people. So clearly these two cases are very serious in nature, but still Donald Trump has a huge fan base in USA, despite the fact that he's been charged. He is going ahead with his financial campaigning, where he's trying to raise funds for the upcoming presidential election. So there is no dearth of support from Donald Trump, but will that be enough to support him to be elected as the president, or for that matter, first, will he be able to secure a Republican candidature? That remains a big question, because with such serious charges, political mass is going to deplete, the political support system is clearly going to deplete for Donald Trump. And this is what actually also he has accused in his cases earlier also, that the whole system, the whole political setup in USA is trying to sideline him politically, because he will unmask them. He has also accused the current President Joe Biden and his government of putting him into several charges so that he cannot, go ahead with his political campaign and stand in the next U.S. election for presidential election. But with the latest charges, a slew of charges that he's going to face, and the legal harassment or the legal, further the legal cases that he'll be defending himself. Clearly, more details will come out that Donald Trump did this or Donald Trump did that in several cases, and that will not go down well with the public sentiment, which will be very high on judging a person with the kind of integrity or his history or his track record to be a qualified candidate to stand for the presidential election. So clearly, with all these charges, his path is going to be very difficult for to be elected, and for that matter, first to be approved as a Republican candidate for the coming presidential election in the USA.
Right, Abhishek. Thank you for bringing us all those details, and we are going to